only want boys who ghost me. You are self-sabotaging. How to tell my situationship I like him. I have 2 boys shooting their shot with me. What is this, The Bachelor? I wouldn't chase him. Is it okay for a guy to have girlfriends? Are we really getting into this right now? Are we really getting into this right now? This is my 3-step guide into getting over him. No, bro. No one cares. How to leave a relationship when you're not ready, but no, you should. This one hits a little too close to home. I had been single for 6 months. Are you kidding me? There's literally no way. What is wrong with men? What is wrong with men? The right guy will stay. Did I just break up a relationship? I'm already in a rush. It's 7 a.m. Like, what is happening? Let's get comfy. Let's get cozy. This at 7:30 in the morning is so dangerous. Oh my god. This is me attempting to get my personality back. Oh, so you don't have a big sister? Oh, so you do have a sister, but she's just a big fat meanie and she won't talk to you. And she yells at you when you take her clothes. If you're new here, I'm really the only big sister you need. And when I asked you guys to submit your boy troubles, I did not think you would pop off this freaking hard. I think what we've already learned here is that men suck. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I don't know. Disclaimer before I really go in with this boy advice, just know I am not the end all be all. I'm not the relationship expert. I am not a couples counselor. You can 1000% disagree with me, and trust me, when it comes to boys, I've definitely sat there, asked my friend for advice. She told me great advice, and then I decided to do the exact opposite because I was not thinking straight, because men make us crazy. Sometimes. But with that being said, nothing is too TMI here, so let's get started. I forgot to go wet my beauty blender. This is the death of me every time. Sit down, I'm comfy, and then I'm like... I can't be the first that has once dumped my beauty blender in my water bottle to get it wet, unfortunately. And I get it from my mini bar main bust down. These hoes can't stand me. I swear to God, one sip of this and I'm going insane. Oh my God, why am I physically out of breath? Unfortunately, I look like this right now. So we're gonna fully get ready while we film. I have to leave to commute for work in like an hour. I low-key just need to show you guys my setup right now because it's actually so funny. The mirror being balanced on the candle, the Alani, and then just the makeup. There's literally no way. No, bro. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. The submissions you guys sent me are even better than expected, so here we go. So what if I kind of like my best friend? This could go 2 ways, because if you like your best friend and he's into you as well, happily ever after. Like, it's not everyone's dream to be friends first and then start dating. That's ideal. You skip like every single step of getting to know each other. It's so much more fun because you're naturally yourself all the time with them. I honestly think this is amazing and a win for you. But on the other hand, if they don't like you back, or if they are leading you on, it's a difficult situation. Also, you don't want to ruin your friendship with them, obviously. Personally, what I would do if they're your best friend and you don't want to risk losing them, if they're not giving you clear signs that they also like you back, I would just leave it as friends. You probably need some experience under your belt, because at this point you're probably both questioning, do you really like each other, or are you just really comfortable around each other? Because that's hard to differentiate sometimes. So I'm in love with my boyfriend, but I also want to have the typical college experience. Okay, here's my thoughts on this one. If you're in love with your boyfriend, I low-key think that you wouldn't even be having these thoughts, that you want to have the typical college experience, which is like hookup culture, I'm assuming. Why is this so hard to do while I'm doing my makeup? Like, I cannot focus on 2 things at once. Sorry, brief intermission for me to finish my freaking foundation. Anyway, what I was saying is, if you are already having these thoughts and you're going into college, she's not the one, girl. I'm sorry, but every personal experience that I've had, or any of my friends have had, if you're having any thoughts of like, I wish I could hook up with boys right now, or I wish I could flirt with boys right now, sis, you're not in the right relationship. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I really don't think that you would be having those thoughts if he was the one. Why would you want to hook up with other guys when you have the one? What? That seems mean. Did I just break up a relationship? Oh my God, I am not a therapist. I have 2 boys shooting their shot with me. I like both of them. What do I do? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What is this, The Bachelor? Do you accept this final rose? I don't understand the concept of liking 2 guys. Wait, do I? Maybe I do. Me trying to think back to my whole phase, I'm like, did I do that? Maybe I did actually. Okay, you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with hanging out with 2 guys. At least at my age, I know plenty of people who are on dating apps going on 3 different dates a week with 3 different guys. You're not committed to anything. But 2 guys at once, damn. you're a hot commodity. I love this for you. But seriously, I would really try to narrow it down. I don't want you to lose both of them. You know what I'm saying? 2 guys stresses me out. I feel like I look so bad right now. It's scary. The guy all my friends told me not to go for just broke my heart. I don't feel like I have anyone to talk to. What do I do? That's going to be a 50-minute therapy session once a week. If you truly don't have anyone to talk to, therapy. I'm so for real right now. I have always gotten the best advice about relationships from a therapist because they are completely unbiased, and at the end of the day, they're going to do what's best for you. Obviously. And you know what? I always recommend therapy, no matter if you're in a happy relationship, no matter if you're single and ready to mingle, no matter where you are. Therapy is great. When I was in a toxic relationship, it was the #1 topic of conversation during my therapy sessions. And you know, if you're interested in therapy, but you really don't know where to start, how to even find a therapist, I got you. And that's why I'm so excited to tell you guys about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and accessible, which is important because finding the right therapist can be hard. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist so easy because it's all online and remote. By filling out just a few questions, BetterHelp can get you matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. I absolutely love BetterHelp because you can choose how you want to communicate with your therapist and how often. If you want to see your therapist 4 times a week, BetterHelp can do that for you. Really so amazing, and it's truly helped me with so many aspects of my life, not even just relationships. So if you guys are interested in trying out BetterHelp today, make sure to click the link in my description box, betterhelp.com/Cora, for 10% off your first month. It is so easy to get signed up and get matched with a therapist. Thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. I feel like we need to like speed run these. I think I'm like going off on a tangent too much. How to leave a relationship when you're not ready, but know you should. This one hits a little too close to home. Have we all been there? I mean, I've been there. Ugh. Honestly, what I've heard people say is you're not done till you're done, which is kind of actually really stupid when you hear it out loud. But if you're in that situation, I think it's so true because you can fully know like this is not the guy for you. Sometimes you're really just not ready to leave that relationship, especially if you've been in it for a while. You're super comfortable with this person. You still have love for this person, but you know it's just not going to work out for whatever reason. And this is the difference between boys and girls. Boys, when they get out of a relationship, they go through a breakup or they break up with a girl, they are just getting out of that relationship. Girls, we have been mentally out of that relationship for months. Like my first ever boyfriend, it was so toxic, and by the time we actually were done after like the 3rd breakup, let's be honest, I had been single for 6 months. Not like I was like doing anything else, like I was still committed to him, but in my head I was like, I know he's not the one, and it really took me like 6 freaking months to realize that. So give yourself grace. You don't need to immediately break up with him. You're not done till you're done. You're just gonna start. Wait, seriously, this energy drink goes hard. Like I'm feeling good and it's 7:50. I literally cannot talk to a boy without freaking out or feeling the need to drink. On one hand, I want to say there's nothing wrong with a little bit of liquid courage, but I also don't think that's the healthiest habit. You should be able to talk to guys without that liquid courage. It really depends what setting you're in. What I'm going to say to you is that if you're nervous to talk to boys, that's 100% normal. But what I'm also going to say is no one cares. Literally no one cares. That is my whole mentality, especially when I was single. It doesn't matter. If you make a fool of yourself, they're forgetting about it the next day. A first impression isn't necessarily everything. This isn't The Bachelor, okay? We don't need the first impression rose. Sometimes it's okay to make a fool of yourself. Sometimes that's gonna make a better story for later. You don't need to do everything perfect. If you go talk to a guy and he's not feeling the vibe, bye. The right guy will stay. That's all I'm gonna say. I only want boys who ghost me, never the ones who actually like me back. Girl, this is a case of what we like to call self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. You are self-sabotaging. All my friends who are single still do this to this day. Any guy that is like giving them all the attention, following up on texts, shooting their freaking shot, I almost like think it's an ick. And I'm like, no, why waste your time now? Know your self-worth. That's so easy for me to say now because when I was single, I did not know my self-worth. I was the same way. Why doesn't he text me back? Looking at my phone every 2 seconds. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And if this guy is the one, it will work out eventually. I wouldn't chase him. How to tell my situationship I like him. This is a sticky situation. It really depends how long your situationship is, how long you've known this guy, if he's giving you all the signs that he likes you. But even then, from personal experience, he can be giving you all the signs. He can tell you he wants to take you on a date. He wants to do all this and all that. But in reality, if he's not freaking doing it, why go for someone who's not putting in the effort initially? But you know what? I am gonna say this. It's better to just be honest. I told my situationship once, hey dude, I like you. He was basically like, oh yeah, no, that's not what I thought this was. And it's like, oh, okay. Perfect. I was mortified. You know what? Hindsight 2020, I'm so glad I told him that because I'm glad I got out when I did. I have him string me along for another 6 months when he then straight up told me I'm not interested in ever starting something. You know what? If you want to tell them how you feel, tell them. If they reject you, bye bye. Bye bye. It's over again. Yeah, goodbye, sir. I got rejected by him hardcore, but I still like him. It is totally fine to still like someone after they rejected you. You're not gonna immediately get over someone. Like, what? Oh, I'm Rudolph. Give yourself that time, give yourself that grace period, but then move on. The right people will stay. Is it okay for a guy to have girlfriends? Are we really getting into this right now? Are we really getting into this right now? I feel like I have a controversial hot take on this one. I 1000% think it's okay for guys to have girlfriends. To me, it's perfectly normal, it's perfectly healthy to have guy and girlfriend. You should trust your partner 100%. If you don't, why are you dating them? Like, genuinely, from my perspective, there's nothing wrong with it. I will say it's one thing if I was to like go out in Chicago, meet straight men, and then all of a sudden become their best friend and be going on like a one-on-one outing with them. That's weird. That's weird. Hey, I'm gonna go grab dinner and drinks with so-and-so. It's like, who even is that? But to me, my closest guy friend that's straight, because I have a lot of gay friends. We've been friends since 7th grade, especially if it's a long time friend that you've been friends with forever. You shouldn't have to give that up just because you're dating someone. That's weird to me. And friends with benefits become more. This is another thing where it's like, of course it can. Literally anything's possible. I've seen it happen. I mean, we've all seen it happen. Friends with Benefits, that's literally one of my favorite movies. But the reality is 80% of the time it doesn't work out, unfortunately. You know what? I'm gonna say a prayer for you because, girl, Jesus take the lead. He's my older brother's best friend. What? Slay. The only thing is you need to immediately be upfront with your brother about this. Don't go behind his back, hide it, do a friends with benefit situation with him. I would just be totally upfront. If you guys both like each other, he might immediately get defensive about it, but I honestly think it just takes time to warm up to the idea. I think most boys are like chill to the point where they would not care unless they really think their friend's like a boy. Like, imagine the family functions. They'd be lit. I'm sorry, lit? What am I saying? How to get out of the talking stage. I'm so for telling a guy how you feel, and if he doesn't reciprocate that, you just know sooner he is not the one. Like, you're just skipping all the unnecessary step of like, oh yeah, let's like keep hanging out. If he's not interested, bye. A boy says he likes me but also says he wants his ex back. I am so sorry. What is wrong with men? What is wrong with men? What is wrong with men? Case closed. He's done. He's done. I can't. Like, no. This makes me so angry for you, girl, because you're so much more deserving than a guy who's like, oh my god, I like you. And he's like stringing you along, but then he wants his ex back. Like, what is even happening? No, I don't trust men enough to keep an interest in them because my ex ruined me. What do? This is literally so relatable. I'm sorry. I don't trust men either. If you got done dirty, it's really hard to come back from that. Like, I felt like I had no trust issues until my last relationship ended. BZ, before Xanis, okay? Take time for yourself, regroup. But if it's becoming an issue where you're like, it's been 6 years since I've dated anyone and I still can't trust men, seriously, therapy. I keep forgetting everything and then I have to get up. Oh my god, I'm like sweating. I got dumped yesterday. How do I get over him? This is my 3-step guide into getting over him. Number 1, let yourself be sad. Go to the gas station, get a tub of ice cream, and let yourself be sad. I think it's really important to feel those emotions, especially right after a breakup. Number 2, hang out with friends a ton. I think it's amazing to have so many plans after you get out of a relationship. Try to fill your schedule to keep your mind off him because inevitably you're gonna be sad. So it's better to be with other people who are making you happy and uplifting your spirit. And also, those people better be willing to talk to you about your relationship if you want to talk about it. Number 3, don't let getting dumped consume your life. At the end of the day, it's better he dumped you now if he wasn't in it for the long run. And I know that you feel like your heart is probably breaking right now. I promise you, it will get better. You won't feel all these sad emotions forever. And that's my 3-step guide. I like my lifelong guy best friend and he likes me back. Sometimes he blows me off. I don't know, this one's hard. It's giving the show One Day where it's like, you're ready for this and he's not. Genuinely, if he's blowing you off, I wouldn't go for it. Wait until he matures more. You don't want him when he's not fully ready to commit to you. My boyfriend and I are going to different colleges 13 hours away. Any long distance tips? Well, as you guys know, I did long distance for 2 years. At the end of the day, I don't believe that distance is ever going to be the thing that ends your relationship, because if you're meant to be, you would be able to make it work out no matter the circumstance. But dang, 13 hours, that is rough. Personally, when I was in a long distance relationship, I would try to see them like at least once a month. FaceTime is huge because that's really your only form of communication besides text. And text, a lot of things can be misread. You have to have really good communication, but good luck to you. I'm rooting for you guys. guys. How to get the courage to talk to a guy in real life. We text, but tell me why it's so awkward in person. Nothing is awkward unless you make it awkward. You could totally fumble the bag, but if you act confident, he's not gonna think anything of it. I get the transition of like going from texting to in person can be scary, but genuinely, once you get past those like first date jitters, you're gonna be totally fine. And just keep in mind, he's probably just as nervous. How to not fall in love with your coworker. Why are we trying not to fall in love with him? What's wrong with it? Why? It's giving Jim and Pam. I love that for you. Unless he sucks. That's another story. I feel like he is my one-day man. Do I wait on him or move on? If you don't know what a one-day man is, it's the theory that like you'll end up together one day, but you just don't know when. Should she wait for him or move on? I would say move on. If he's not gonna give you his like full attention, not worth your time for now. It'll work out if it's supposed to work out. That is literally my answer for everything, but for real. Is it healthy to fight in a relationship? My ex says we fought too much and that's why he ended things with me. My hot take is if you're not fighting in a relationship, not like fist fighting, okay, not like if you're not fighting in a relationship, you're not communicating enough, you're going to argue with someone just like you argue with your roommates, just like you argue with your siblings, just like you probably argue with your parents. You need to fight and have disagreements in order to grow your relationship. Fighting is totally normal, but I will say there is a fine line. You should know when like enough is enough. My therapist always told me when the bad outweighs the good, that's when you know it's time to call it. If you're having more arguments and disagreements with this person than you are having good times with this person, it's probably not the right person. I like a felon. I don't even know what to say to this. He's the biggest green flag, but tell me why I still don't like him. This is again a case of self-sabotage. Maybe that's a sign that you're not ready for a relationship. I always say give them a chance. There's nothing wrong with having him take you out, seeing where it goes. But at the end of the day, you can't force feelings with someone. So even if he really is giving all the green flags and there really just is no connection there, you can't help that. My boyfriend's best friend is a girl that he slept with before and was in love with before. I trust him, but I cannot let it go. Sorry. Like we talked about before, I think it's totally normal and healthy for guys to have platonic girlfriends. Now when it comes to someone that they have slept with before, no, it's gonna be a no from me. There's 1000% reason for you to be jealous and not be able to get over that, because it's like, you can get through it, but you really need to have open communication. You need to tell him like, hey dude, I trust you 100%, but like I can't get over it. We hang out on weekends, but throughout the week he barely texts me. If you have feelings for him and then he's only wanting to hang out with you on the weekends, like when it's convenient for him, that to me is a red flag. I'm sorry. Why am I going to heaven right now? Let's change this angle a little bit. He broke up with me, but now says he wants me back. I don't know how long you guys have been broken up for, but I think what you need to consider is, why did he break up with you? How bad did he hurt you? And were there things wrong in the relationship? I mean, I've gotten back together with a guy who's broken up with me before, so I really can't talk. I'm not gonna say not to go for it, but really consider all your options. I think one of the best things is talking to your friends, seeing what they think of the situation, and then also talking to an unbiased person like a therapist will really help you like dig deep of like, is this right for me? How to get over a boy that's ghosting you. On to the next. Bye. I'm in a year-long situationship with a guy. Where do I go from here? Damn, a year? Are you wanting a relationship and he's just not giving it to you? Is he still hooking up with other girls? Like, why not commit? If you're already hanging out all the time, you're already in this like situationship scenario. I like a boy, but I'm 100% not his type after seeing his exes. What do I do? I know that anyone can have like a type, but that is not the end all be all. Honestly, Xanis is the only person that I've dated that's like my type. You don't need to look like his exes. Why would you want to look like his exes? You want to stand out. Also, don't sell yourself short and be like, well, he'll never go for me. Be confident. You never know what could happen. I feel like I will never get a boyfriend. Boys just don't like me. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Boys do like you. You will get a boyfriend. I am gonna say the cliche thing of it always happens when you least expect it. It seems so stupid, but it really does. You're only gonna find the guy, the one, whatever, most likely when you're least expecting it, when you're not trying. You have the rest of your life to be in a relationship. If you want to get married, you want to do all that jazz, have fun with your friends. There's literally nothing wrong with being single. It's a great time. There are so many more questions, like maybe I should make a part 2 to this, but I need to leave for work, so I can't answer anymore. Let me know if you guys liked it. I love nothing more than being like your guys' big sister. I feel like we're genuinely all best friends, and honestly my favorite thing ever is that you guys feel comfortable enough to really just go off and spill all your problems to me. And I feel like I'm really just sitting down with my best friend on FaceTime giving her advice. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you guys are interested in trying out BetterHelp, make sure to click the link in the description, betterhelp.com/Cora for 10% off your first month. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.
I've been thinking about good times, so tell me all your worst